Now I want to talk about your Dharma archetype, because I think once we start to lean into kind of finding the ease, being able to be our true selves, to be able to see ourselves in the fullness of who we are meant to be, then we're also like, okay, well then like what makes me unique from everybody else? What makes me different than everybody else? And how can I lean into that? And I think that's where the Dharma archetypes come into play. I learned this from the Dharma Coaching Institute with Sahara Rose, who's an incredible thought leader within our community and within the wellness world, and is constantly inspiring me. And I want to be able to share this with all of you. So to give you an overview, first and foremost, I want you to take the Dharma archetype quiz. So click the link below, be able to take the quiz, and then see which one, the questions, you'll follow a questionnaire. It's really simple. It's only like 10 questions, and then you'll get your results. Once you have your results, we'll go more in depth in the coaching session for what this means for you. And then I'll coach you through what it means to be able to actually live this day in and day out, and some obstacles and hurdles, and maybe even some limiting beliefs that you might have around this particular area of your life. Ultimately, I want to be able to help break those down so that you're able to live more authentically in everything you do. And sometimes it's even in the way that we view ourselves that needs to shift, okay? But just to go over what the Dharma archetypes are. There's visionary, teacher, artist, entrepreneur, activist, nurturer, researcher, entertainer, and warrior. And I can't wait to hear what your archetypes are, and we'll delve more into it when we meet. But I'm definitely a teacher and a visionary. So those are my two things. Surprise, surprise. Both of those definitely come into play for me, and why I do what I do. But I think I tried to run away from the fact that those were the things that I was good at. I was trying to do a bunch of other stuff, like, oh, I'm the warrior, which I definitely am a powerful force, but like I can be a powerful force for a vision that I'm creating, and to be able to teach it to others so that they're able to access that within themselves as well, right? So like we have a little bits of each of this within us, but I think there's definitely two that stand out that usually jump out more than others. So figuring out what that is for you is key. So the teacher is here to serve knowledge, and they're through experiences that they've undergone. Then a nurturer is here to care and to connect. They're highly empathetic. They feel exactly what the person needs. A visionary is here to bridge and create a new paradigm. They express their visions through the gift of words. An entrepreneur is here to address problems of society through business solutions. They thrive when they come up with a solution that no one else can. An artist is here to create beauty and to remind us of divine expression through art, song, design, poetry, or dance. The researcher is here to understand the ways of the world on a deeper level. They're extremely curious, and they have that curiosity that carries them throughout life, that drives them to learn more and more. The entertainer is here to make you laugh, cry, smile, gasp, ponder, and every other emotion in between it. They're fascinated by the human psyche, and they're able to go deep within a character to understand a world from a new lens, and to be able to share that in a creative way. The activist is here to bring about social, political, and environmental change. They see the world through a more cohesive view, and they want to be able to bring people together to be able to make a positive impact. The warriors are here to protect. They have strong opinions and a deep sense of what's right and wrong. And they're able to help protect the kingdoms that exist within our lives and the people around them. Everyone has a part to play. All of these different archetypes are key within our lives. But at the same time, recognizing which one you are and doubling down within those realms and within that mission and that vision is instrumental in order for you to be more authentic and more true to who you are. If you're trying to be the visionary, but in actuality you're the entertainer, then actually I would love to see the combination of the two of those. But there's different ways, like we're getting pulled in different directions. We're not really harnessing our gifts. We're not focusing on our gifts. We're letting those slip to the sidelines because we're so trying to be someone that we think that we should be, or that our parents told us that we should be. And there's no point in doing that, because again, I do believe that we're all here for a reason. Recognizing the reason that you're here is what's most important. And then I think that within each of these archetypes, we all have fears, we all have gifts, And then we also have clear like career directions and practices and tips that I can offer you for you to be able to lean into whatever this area is. So then when I think of the researcher, so gifts, diving into details, analysis, rational, facts-driven, logical, organized, finding patterns, understanding things, creating models, and being able to extrapolate them across a bigger picture. Future researchers can be like technology, innovation, science, where the world is headed. Past researchers, history, where the world is, where it has been. And then fears. A lot of times they have fears around like not having enough knowledge to take action, being perceived as undereducated, imposter syndrome, being able to ask questions, to be able to take risks. They're too afraid to make the wrong choice. And there's ways and practices for you to be able to help kind of curb some of those fears, to be able to ask yourself what lights you up, what inspires you to research. How can you take action from a conscious and logical point of view? How can you curb some of those potential risk points that you have through your risk analysis? I'm the exact same way, so I totally get this. Like risk analysis, how can we kind of reduce some of those fears because we're recognizing them, we're creating a plan A, B, and C to approach this from a more systemic like mindset. Like there's ways to overcome these things, and I want to be able to help support you as you pursue them. But if we're bringing light to them, I think is the first step. So once you kind of understand what your Dharma archetype is, I want you to really write down the fears that you have around pursuing this field. Like what is something that is holding you back from feeling like you can actually exercise this and do this in your day in and day out? What do you feel like are your natural gifts? What are the things that naturally light you up when you think about doing this particular, like living in this particular way? What are questions that are kind of looming within your mind about your career and what direction to take it? Like, let's kind of break down all of those things so then when we meet to chat about this in a more in-depth way, we'll be able to do so from a point of reflection and hopefully to be able to take action forward. All right, you got this. I believe in you. I hope you believe in yourself. And I can't wait to hear more about what your archetype has, revelations that you've had from learning about your archetype and where it can take you. Namaste.